just put a label on it, even if it doesn't change the circumstance. Because there's so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their mind. When in fact, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. Good afternoon. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. And I am thrilled to have everybody who was able to return to Sandra P's Gen Extra for Married to Medicine. I watched the episode last night. Those ladies have a lot going on. I was able to take my notes this afternoon and able to return. So this morning we did Real Housewives of Potomac. So now we are on to Married to Medicine. I'm going to pull up my notes and we will get started on that. And I thank you all again. Evidently, there's some type of update that happened that I'll have to scroll through. I apologize for that. I should have been up and running. Siri, open notes. Let's see if that'll get it quicker. And my phone wants to do it, but that does not. So that is okay. Okay, let's start with Married to Medicine, everybody. Thank you so much. I see Linda Gamble was in, moderator extraordinaire. Thank you so much, Linda Gamble. Good to see you. Happy Monday, Sandra P's Gen Extra. Happy Monday to you. Happy MLK Day, everyone who's back in here. Martin Luther King Jr. The holiday is today. Those of you that are off, I appreciate you spending a little time with me. Those of you that are working and listening in, I appreciate you as well. Team Replay, you too. Thank you. Mama Bees is my moderator. Thank you so much. Hey, Sandra P, chat, mods, thank you. I appreciate you coming in, Mama Bees. Sharon Gobble, thank you. Thanks for coming back. This is Married to Medicine. She's saying good afternoon, everyone. And everyone is speaking back to each other. Thank you all. We had two events happen during this Season 12, Episode 7, Married to Medicine, Boots on the Ground. So you'll get a recap, opinion, a little bit of rant. We're going to start to see a little bit more that we had not seen before. And I'll see if there's anything else I could put up there. We have two new ladies. We have Brandy, one of the nurse practitioners, and we have Angel, who's the other nurse practitioner. So that little bit of media that you see right there is me wearing my infamous Sandra P's first season cloak of immunity. The other Angel that we have on Real Housewives of Potomac has not seen fit to pick it up and use it. She had one good episode where she was able to kind of use it a little bit and get a little bit of defend herself a little bit. She had a little bit of get up and go, but she was on the ropes again last night through a very painful few dragging that she was getting from the very wizened and seasoned Giselle Bryant. We're the same age, so I'm not age shaming. I'm just letting you know that she's wizened and seasoned, and she is really dragging poor Angel. But let's talk about the Married to Medicine ladies. We have another Angel over here, Married to Medicine. I was trying to get a picture up of them. It's not really necessary. That is them. We all know who they are, but looking at it, I don't really see the nurse practitioners are not on here. So rather than deal with them, we'll just go back to what we had before. It's not necessary. If I find a picture of Angel and Brandy, I will put them up. If not, it's okay. But you know how we start out at the different ladies' offices? That is one thing I do love about this franchise. They don't let us forget what these ladies do, what they're about, their qualifications, their accolades, and I love that part. So we start out with Brandy in her med spa. She is doing a brow check on someone that I guess she's put Botox on them. And she says, okay, raise your eyebrows. The lady's looking just like this. Raise your eyebrows. She looks like that. She said, oh, that's not raising it. Brandy says, no, that means you're frozen. They start laughing. Or the ladies' version of laughing. Brandy's laughing. Brandy, I don't know how funny that is, but I like seeing her at her office. Toya is in the car driving the two A-name boys. I love them. I can't believe Toya was pregnant with one of them when they first did the pilot that Mariah Huck paid for and shopped. Now we have two teens that Toya and Dr. Eugene have raised very well. The older one's in the front seat, or maybe it was the young one. I can't remember, but Toya was saying, and you wrote a song? Tell me about the song. Give me a couple of lyrics. He is embarrassed to tell her, and then he tells her that he used Chat GPT. Toya's appalled, rightfully so. Toya knows that's not writing. Oh, these kids, it's trip. That is not writing. It's not writing. These kids, I think they'll start reading more. We just saw Kai Cenat retire, and he's sharing his reading journey. He wants to read and express himself better. I'm going to cover that in a political discourse because I'm proud of him for that. He's one of the little streamers that I could not stand, and he is growing. He's growing up, and I'm proud of him because he said some really ignorant things. He got a lot of followers. So Toya's son using Chat GPT to help write lyrics. It's appalling, but I think that will turn around. I think that'll change. So next we have Dr. Jackie. Jackie's in the office with one of her patients, and you're doing your monthly breast exams, right? The lady's like, yeah. And Dr. Jackie said, no. She said, your facial expressions tell me, even though you said, yeah, you are not. So Jackie's gently scolding her. You know, Dr. Jackie doesn't play about certain things because she is a breast cancer survivor herself. Angel has invited Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Mimi, Quads, and someone else, I don't remember who it was, over to her house. Heavenly comes right in the door. This house is so beautiful. She said, this is far as ish. Where's this at? Angel tells her where it's at. Dr. Mimi's sitting over there laughing. Y'all, we're going to see Dr. Mimi get a little bit messy. We knew that was coming. Those of us that watched Dr. Mimi first season and how she moved, we knew she had the potential to be messy, and it's beginning to be on full display. I didn't care for her too much. I didn't like the way she conducted herself with Sweet Tea. I feel like she kind of maneuvered her way into a so-called friendship, and then when it was suitable for her, she got in with whom she considers the popular girls, and that could change time to time, according to Dr. Mimi, kind of dropped Sweet Tea. So we see her doing that now. Because remember, we started out, she's okay with Brandy, she's okay with Angel, okay with all the other ladies. And now there appears to be something going on with her and Brandy. That will come up more. Dr. Heavenly says, oh, you got food? And Angel says, yes, I know how you ladies do. You got to eat. You got to have food. So she's doing all the right things. Welcome back in, TNTG Mom. I'm so glad to see you in a live with me today. You were here this morning. I thank you for coming back. This is Married to Medicine. So this is the same episode last night. I got a chance to finally get my notes, and we are reviewing this. So everyone speaking and welcoming TNTG Mom. Mama B's 59 Works. This is my sister. Thanks for coming in. Hope you are enjoying your off day. Hey there, Sam P. Mama B, Sharon Gobble. Chat. Jumping on. Thank you so much for coming in and making the live. Thank you. We're still at Angel's house. Angel is hosting them. Angel does have a beautiful home. Remember, she has 2 children. I think we got introduced to them last week or the week before, but she has 2 kids. We met a man called Dr. Bernard, who is her on-again, off-again boyfriend of a decade or so. Okay, Angel. Angel has a doctor on ice. Can anyone say that? This is a trip. So Heavenly, she shouldn't act as anything else than a coworker. I can't believe these ladies talk to her like that, because Dr. Heavenly is in a confessional saying, she said, I'm glad to be at Angel's house, but in the time I got to Angel's house, I could have found my son. I could have done this. I could have done that. And Dr. Heavenly's funny, but I find it a little two-faced, and I can't believe she comes into this lady's house. Then again, I can, criticizing her like that. Thank you, Mama Bees. Please hit the like button. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we got Quad come in. Quad is the other person that joined. Quad comes in. Everybody greets her. Quad is full of smiles. We see Quad saying in a confessional, all these ladies are my friends, but I can't actually talk to them about what's going on with her IVR journey. Quad, that means these are your co-workers and these are not your friends. And she's right about that. When she came in, Dr. Heavenly said, oh, look at Quad. I see what's going on there. Touched Quad's stomach and said, you got a baby in there. Quad said, no, nothing like that's happening yet. You see, Quad, how careful it is to be mindful of your mouth and talking to people like that and talking about that. Quad said to Sweet Tea last season, ain't nothing going on over there. People claim they didn't hear it. I heard it. So I don't care who heard it or didn't hear it. Quad said that to Sweet Tea, and she meant it in the way that she said it. Ain't nothing going on over there. And now look at King and Quad. They're spending money. They're in Ghana. They've enlisted Dr. Jackie, one of the top fertility specialists in the country, if not the world, I'm not sure. And ain't nothing going on over there. So if that is for Quad, I hope it takes. If not, then Quad was on Watch What Happens Live. I finally got to watch it, and Quad is saying, you know, it's in God's time, and I'm glad I can be an inspiration. So for the people that come in here and feel like Quad is taking over Sweet Tea's storyline, I have to agree with y'all. because she added Ghana with a little bit of seasoning, but Quad, I don't know. Is this real? I just don't know. But all the ladies are talking. We find out there is a distinct divide in the group because Angel's House is one group. Production, I love when they do this. They show us contrasting groups. We see the other group is over in a little lunch bar grill, and that group consists of Toya, Dr. Contessa, Brandy, and Dr. Simone. So y'all, they have split this group straight down the middle, straight down the middle. So Toya is filling in Dr. Contessa. She said, Dr. Contessa, I'm sorry you had to miss our event. I know that the daughter had some type of pageant that she went to. Dr. Contessa, fill me in. What's going on? So Brandy's with the group. Brandy's sitting there laughing. Toya says, Dr. Heavenly came in with a brother. Here's Dr. Contessa. Dr. Contessa, you're doing too much. You already got the job. You don't have to do all of this. She didn't have a DNA test? No, Dr. Heavenly didn't have a DNA test. That's her brother. When I looked at the man, I feel like that's her brother. If Dr. Heavenly wants to do a DNA test, she should, but that's nothing to laugh about and act stupid about Dr. Contessa. That if you start talking about her and Dr. Scott, she's screaming and hollering. But she finds that really funny that Heavenly has introduced a brother. I want to meet Dr. Heavenly's sister. So Dr. Brandy's sitting there laughing. She's saying they're messy. They are being very messy. So production's doing a back and forth between the two groups. Heavenly is saying, on my YouTube, I'm going to be talking more about politics. I'm getting really serious about my campaign launch. I'm excited about this. We see a picture. I love when production does this. They show us, not Dr. Heavenly, little Elaine. They showed a picture of her at 8 years old. This is Alora's twin. We remember Alora with the little bump under blowout. That is Dr. Heavenly as an 8-year-old. We see a picture of her there, and then we see a picture of her as a 17-year-old. So cute, the same. I can't believe this is the same lady, but it does look like Alora, so that's her. But she just looks so meek and sweet. And then we got Dr. Heavenly. So she's telling us that she is talking more about politics and preparing for her candidacy. We find out on Watch What Happens Live. I'll introduce that because her campaign launch, she's running for state senate. Quad is her campaign manager and her castmate. Quad has cleared it up that she was running for state senate. Now she's running for Congress. So she's running for a seat in the 13th district of Georgia. So if Heavenly's the best they have to offer, I hope that she does win that seat as compared to the alternative. I'll just say that. Welcome in, Shayna McD. Shayna McD is one of my fellow content creators. I hope you're already over there, but if not, go over there and join her and subscribe over there. She did the most. That's Dr. Contessa. It wouldn't be Dr. Contessa if she wasn't doing the most, Shayna. You know how she is. Sharon says, in my opinion, Heavenly is getting too much airtime on the show. Sharon Gobble, didn't they say she's a friend of because the fact that she's running for office, her campaign, her opponent would have to have equal time and blah, blah, blah. I swear I'm looking at Dr. Heavenly more than I did in past seasons. She's still not sharing that much, but she's doing a lot. So Mama Bees is welcoming in Shayna. Hello, Shayna. Thank you for coming in and joining me during my live. I appreciate that. So Angel says, I like the way Heavenly, when we were at the family reunion, they talk about that a little bit. That was one of my favorite events this season, and it was a really good idea. I hope they bring that back like the med ball. That was really nice. So she says, Heavenly, you were looking out for me kind of like a big sis. And then Angel says, now, one of the people, Toya, I didn't like the way Toya came at me. I was laughing at Toya last week, y'all, but I find out that Angel was offended. Angel took offense to Toya coming up to her Dr. or Nice of 10 years, Dr. Bernard, and asking him very intimate, detailed questions about Angel and his situation, and also telling him that Angel had asked her to introduce him to men. And everybody's shocked, like, she said that in front of him? And Angel's like, yeah, I'm not around women like this. I need to know what type of friend this is. So I'm kind of with Angel on that, even though at the time, I know how tacky Toya is. I've been watching her a decade, and it just didn't factor in that, yeah, that's problematic. But it is, and Angel is mad. Honestly, Heavenly is Toya's storyline. She is. I think that's why she always jumps up in her face and starts. So we see a flashback of Toya said, you asking me to hook you up with all these men? And then we go to the other scene, and Toya is also telling Contessa, Angel came to the event with this doctor. She's going with him 10 years, and she's asking me to introduce her with all these men. And I asked her if that's her man and all this kind of stuff. And Contessa was like, you asked her that in front of the boy? So Contessa's doing her Contessa thing in front of the boy. And Brandy says the man. Now Brandy's laughing. Brandy's messy too. Ooh, you messy, you messy. Quad is in a confessional saying, I don't care if she introduced to 25 men. You don't do that in front of the men. So the consensus is Toya is wrong, but that is tacky Toya. And I think she is kind of wrong. I agree with Shayna. She might be. Dr. Heavenly might be Toya's storyline. Most of these people might be Toya's storyline. As long as we don't start talking about Eugene and the way she talks to him and their finances, I think Toya would be satisfied with that. Mimi is sitting there taking all this information. Now, remember, Dr. Mimi has jumped up out of nowhere. All of a sudden, she doesn't like Toya. I don't think it's just because Toya kicked her out of the house, even though Mimi is holding on to that. So Mimi says in a confessional, why are you trying to sabotage another woman and what she's got going on? So again, Toya's in the wrong on this within this friend group. And they're not hearing any of it. And Dr. Mimi says, just be a girl's girl. Angel back at the group is saying, yeah, Toya's not that type of friend. So Toya's telling the other ladies, Angel wanted me to hook her up. They're doing this back and forth, but Toya, you're wrong. You can't backpedal your way out of this. And then she said, don't ask me to hook you up with family. Don't ask me to hook you up with family. Who's the family? I don't think Toya has a brother that's a doctor or a close friend of Eugene's that's a doctor. I don't know where she's coming from, but I think she's just embarrassed now that she did do too much, and she's going to be called out on it. So this is a mess. So we see Dr. Heavenly flashback, and she is saying that, yeah, Simone is looking up people VIN numbers. Now, I thought Dr. Contessa said that. Contessa brought up something else at the event, but it was actually Heavenly. Dr. Simone looks up property. She looks up VIN numbers. She looks up all this stuff. Production shows us, for good measure, they show Dr. Simone over on Sweet Tea's YouTube channel. They were cooking together. And Sweet Tea's joking, I almost got Quad's house paid off. And Dr. Simone says, which house? This one or the one she's living in now? We know Sweet Tea lives in her husband Greg's house that Greg also shared with his first wife, Quad. So this is a mess. These ladies are going to get into it again. Dr. Heavenly is telling the group she's in, Dr. Simone need to worry about her own family, worry about what she's got going on and not other people and looking up VIN numbers. This is all true, Dr. Heavenly, but over the years, 12 to be exact, Dr. Heavenly hasn't focused on herself and her family. So I guess Dr. Simone's trying to branch out and do more. So Dr. Contessa is saying, I feel like I could be the one to bring the group together. And she lies. We've never been this divided. Production shows us they have been this divided. Dr. Simone says, oh, she said, so what about you talking about, oh, my mama, who's been dead since 2010? And then Simone gets up to actually mock Dr. Contessa, trying to chase Dr. Heavenly. Production shows us where Contessa told her to square up Garden 2, and they got ready to get into it. But Dr. Heavenly was backtracking. She was backpedaling and even had a nip slip doing so. So that whole scene was a mess. Dr. Contessa says, well, after 365 days, this was just a year ago. She said, I decided I'm calm. I can do this. I can host the girls trip. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Angel is hearing about this girls trip. They're still with the group. Angel wants to know, I want to be able to drive home. And she doesn't want to be stuck. Toya's giving the same sentiment over there in the actual group where Contessa is. So next we show up to an event, and it's outside in a parking lot. It looks really hot. People are sweating as soon as they show up. Dr. Heavenly's campaign staff is there. Her son, Zach. Hello, Zach. We love Zach over here. Zach is the sweet one. Zach is the one that we see him in her office. He interned in the office. Now, there was footage of Damon Jr. interning in the office as well, but since he's pulled back from the show, we don't see him. We just see that one little picture he took of with Heavenly in Good Times. But he's there. Dr. Damon must be working. He's not there. But the ladies start to show up. Quad is the campaign manager. She's in a confessional. Now, this is Quad's storyline, too. This and Sweet Tea's IVF journey. She says, I'm the campaign manager. And Contessa on the side says, if Dr. Heavenly wants to be taken seriously, because I pay attention to politics, she's going to have to kind of clarify, speak to how she chose Quad as a campaign manager? Contessa asked Dr. Heavenly that. Dr. Heavenly says, Quad is smart, she's sharp, she can jump up, hit the ground running, all of this. So I don't know. I remember Quad's history being in pharmaceutical sales, and then she had the doggy clothing line, but this is new. She says she's political campaign manager now. So, okay, Quad. Now, in fairness to Quad, she did good on Watch What Happens last night. Andy Cohen did a game about trying to clear up Dr. Heavenly some of her scraps, and Quad was able to put a straight face spin on every single scenario. How's Heavenly going to get away with saying your mama? Well, she wants to represent the mamas in the district, this, that, and the other. Calling Damon daddy. Quad said we got to put that to bed. So that was fair criticism. Carrying fake items. She wants to make sure she is being mindful of the people's budget. So Quad had a quick lie for everything, y'all. She might be ready to be a political campaign manager. So she greets Zach saying, I knew you'd show up for your mama. He's just smiling. So now she's running for Congress. As I said, she mentioned last night. Heavenly saying, everybody come in, find a seat now. And I told y'all to sit down, god dang it. That's Heavenly talking to the people from the stage. Quad is like, Heavenly. So Toya is there. Toya annoyed me in this scene. Toya was looking to find fault, provoke Heavenly. I kind of think the thing's a joke as well, but our politics right now is a joke. So Dr. Heavenly can't be any more wrong. Not that I love it, but I mean, this is what they're doing. The ladies that are there, they show up in the Dr. Heavenly for State Senate, District 93. We know now that it's Congress, District 13. Good luck to her if she's the best candidate in that district. Dr. Mimi shows up with her t-shirt on. And then Dr. Mimi says she's there as boots on the ground. I think Dr. Mimi's lying. I think she sees the whole thing as a joke, but she's going to try to warm up to Heavenly and do this. We see Contessa, Simone, and Brandy. They show up together. They're part of this other little group that they have. Again, I said there's a separation. So I don't know if they rode together, but they sure enough walk up together. We find out Dr. Simone's running late. She's probably working because she came in later with it looked like some of her office staff. So at least we have those three that are there. Toya sits right down and starts taking notes. So Toya's there to be messy. Next, Toya comments on Quad. Oh, she said, Quad is Heavenly's campaign manager. Confessional, she says, that's cute. I guess she thought Quad needed a job. Toya didn't have one positive thing to say throughout the scene, confessional, or anything toward any of the ladies, including particularly Heavenly and Quad. I'm not a Heavenly or Quad fan, but this is kind of hard to watch Toya be so negative. Toya, this is not a good look. So part of Dr. Heavenly's campaign speech, y'all, she's talking about Damon Jr. She done threatened everybody and their mama about Damon. I'll talk about my son. I'll talk about my kids. But she's giving us a chilling statistic between the ages of 23 and 27 for young Black men. Their number one cause of death is at the hands of police. Dr. Heavenly, she said, my son at least came home in one piece, even though he's not talking to her. I'm here for Quad and Heavenly. They're educated, and I think they can do it. Toya just hating because she don't got nothing going on. Yeah, Shannon McD, she's making herself look like the biggest hater. The way she was out there just basically trolling, it didn't look good. Quad is a good saleswoman. If anyone can sell Heavenly as a politician, it will be Quad. She had the people eating out her hands last night, I'll tell you that. I'm not buying Heavenly, and she did. TNTG Mom is laughing at Sharon. Sharon, I missed a comment. Heavenly is getting too much time on the show. Oh, that's from what you, yeah, and she laughing. Oh, that was you that said Quad is a good saleswoman. If anyone could sell Heavenly as a politician, it would be Quad. So yeah, we got TNTG Mom laughing at that. It is funny, but I believe it's true, Sharon. I think she can sell. Quad could sell ice to an Eskimo. Quad is still on the show that her friend at the time started off, and the lady can't get back over there to save her life. So Quad is able to convince people of things, and we have seen it in real time. So Dr. Heavenly said her son comes home safely, other people's son have not. She wants to be a part of the community, and the community needs to see somebody stand up. Now, I think Dr. Heavenly's a fighter. I'll give her that. Production, what are you doing? They are focusing on people sweating and banning and all this kind of stuff. But it's a legitimate campaign event. She has her signage. She got the tent. Quad introduced the candidate. The candidate gave a speech. So I like what's going on as far as that. I still don't know if it's storyline or if Dr. Heavenly seriously. Now, if she wins this congressional seat, District 13, Georgia, I'm sure she'll take the seat and be able to do the job. Now, I don't know what will happen with her dental offices, so we'll see about that. How far is Zach away from finishing Meharry Medicine? I don't know. Meharry Medical. So Quad is over there. She's eating a sandwich, and Dr. Concetta is saying, how much of this is real? And Quad say, oh, it's real. It's real. It's all the way real. So Contessa's saying, yeah, Quad is a friend. She's smart in business, but it's important to present as if you have the right people in place. Dr. Contessa does this little 1 foot in, 1 foot out, hokey pokey that really gets on my nerves. Are you supportive of them or are you not? I'm a viewer. I'm a content creator. I'm just watching. I can do the hokey pokey. I can come back one week and think one thing or another. But Dr. Contessa, come on, what do you think? She gets on my nerves with this, try to play all sides. And generally, I like Contessa, but this gets on my nerves. And I'm tired of this confessional look that she's doing with the lab jacket and then all the way down here. Contessa, we know Heavenly's wrong when she talk about that, but you can do better. You can do some scrubs or something. You don't got to show us everything you're showing. And you're trying to make Heavenly or somebody say something. And then you can start crying and squaring up on people about that. I'm getting tired of Dr. Contessa, y'all. I am. So then we got Brandy. Brandy shows up by herself, smiling. Brandy's not bothering anybody. Dr. Mimi and them are out there. Dr. Mimi starts telling her, you need to be mindful of the people. Now, these ladies are roughly the same age. They were at Brandy's home the other week. We find out that Brandy's been married 10 years. Dr. Mimi's been married 11 years. We have a nurse practitioner, a doctor. Dr. Mimi is not in a big sis role or auntie role to Brandy. So I'll preface that. The reason I said all that is because she's kind of scolding Brandy. Be mindful of who you hanging with. You kind of came in here with Toya. Toya's sitting there saying a bunch of stuff about Heavenly. What did you say about Heavenly? Brandy's looking kind of surprised. Production shows us Toya being negative under her breath, Toya taking notes, Toya screenshots, sending the notes to Dr. Simone, who wasn't there yet. And especially when Heavenly said, I've gotten almost everyone's support except one. And Dr. Mimi said, oh, she's talking about Toya. She might have been talking about Simone because Simone wasn't there yet. And then Toya says, oh, you're going to bully me into supporting you? But Dr. Mimi's literally in Brandy's face. Brandy is like a little sweet little face Barbie, but she is not a punk. So Brandy automatically starts telling her, and why are you up in my face? And then Dr. Mimi is a very slick one. She turns into Whitley Gilbert and starts going, settle down, settle down. Now she started. She came into Brandy's face. And then when Brandy reacts, she's telling her, simmer down, simmer down. So y'all, this was a mess. Sharon, do you see where she's going? Mama Bees, I'm tired of Dr. Mimi. Yeah, and I knew with the way she treated Sweet Tea, I said, oh, she's a trip. She's kind of a sneak. Threw her right under the bus. And then one scene, she slipped up. She didn't slip up. She might have said it for real. I'm Team Mimi. So Team Mimi is doing a lot. Bring the kids back. Those scenes humanize her and make her real. Throw her off script and she's not able to be fake. So Mimi's being really messy. Brandy is telling her, why are you in my face right now? Mimi's turning around, laughing. Mimi, she's very slick. And she's a therapist. I don't like how she uses her knowledge against people as far as psychological games on them. Because Brandy go, why are you in my face right now? Brandy's getting a little activated. Dr. Mimi puts her hands in her pockets. Mm-hmm. So she's innocent, y'all. Dr. Mimi, okay, settle down, simmer down. She started it. There are people turning around looking like, why is this lady going off? And it looks like Brandy, somebody came up and said, who's the aggressor? Dr. Mimi was the aggressor, but you couldn't tell. So you got to be careful choosing sides in these fights. You couldn't tell. So Brandy is in a confessional saying, what is she doing? Is she deciding that she wants to join the cool kids? And is she one of the cool kids? Brandy, that's what I'm trying to find out. Because we see what she did with Sweet Tea. Mama B see her for what she is. This is too much. So we're going to see what happens with Dr. Mimi because she's doing a lot. We see people in the background taking pictures with Dr. Jackie. Y'all, they love themselves some Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie feel like y'all be trying to get doctor's notes and stuff and you ain't really sick, especially if you're pregnant. So they are still arguing. People kind of break them up. Luckily, they come out to the parking lot. Dr. Simone comes up. She want to know what she walked in on. She's with some of her staff. Heavenly thanks her for coming. And Brandy is still complaining that Dr. Mimi tries to align herself with whomever she feels like is the most whoever is the most popular. And I think that that's true. I didn't like what Dr. Mimi was doing there. She's two-faced. Mama Bees is tired of her, and I am too. Sharon says Mimi is messy, and I don't like the changes Dr. Contessa is bringing this season. It's a little too much. I don't know what Dr. Contessa is doing, all this extraness. I guess she got tired of us talking about Scott when she was screaming and crying about that Pimps Up Pros Down ball. He made a monkey of her planning her own party, and then she jumped on poor Brandy that her husband paid for dinner. So the next scene, we see Dr. Jackie at work. Dr. Jackie's in the cutest mint scrubs. I always like Dr. Jackie's scrubs. Simone came right in with their lunch. I love your scrubs, she compliments her. So Simone is complimenting Dr. Jackie. Simone looks cute too. She got on purple scrubs as well. So Jackie says, Dr. Simone is telling Jackie she's tired of delivering babies. She says, I'm getting ready to let go of the OB. Dr. Jackie's like, what do you mean let it go? She said, I'm just going to focus on gynecology. She gives a confession. She says, I'm totally burned out. I'm tired. Simone has been alluding to this, y'all. She really has. Mama B says they were also unprofessional. They were. There were still constituents there that were watching all this stuff go on in the parking lot, and they know that that's Dr. Heavenly's friends. And the people that were taking pictures in the background off to the side with Jackie and the other cast, I know there's live video as well of them arguing and fighting and all that. In my opinion, Jackie brings absolutely nothing. No, she brings the pedigree. Andy Cohen loves having this world-renowned celebrity doc. He can get the Brad and them on there sometime when they're having a baby. But I'm with you. I don't really see what she's bringing at this point, TNTG Mom. So congratulations to Dr. Simone. She's stepping back a little bit. Dr. Jackie is shocked. Have you talked to Cecil? Dr. Jackie is the last woman I would go to for marital advice, household advice, any of that. You want to talk about business or any of that? Yes. But as far as her telling you what you should do, no. Simone is saying, I cannot keep going at this pace. He knows I'm tired. She said the lion's share of the money that comes into the household, I bring in. We get a confessional from Dr. Simone. She says, when Cecil left corporate America, he also left a nice size salary on the table. Y'all, this has been years ago. We've watched Cecil be billed as a realtor every other season, but we do not see any income coming in at all. He's more in the role of a house husband, but he weighs in heavily when it comes to spending their finances. That's what I've seen from the past few years. Simone is confirming that the lion's share is on her back and she's tired. Dr. Jackie trying to talk her out of it. Are y'all still pleased with each other? Simone overshares a little bit. Dr. Jackie is her long-term friend. Her and Cecil apparently still getting into it. They're still attracted to each other. She said everything's working as it should on her end. And also his congratulations, Cecil and Dr. Simone. After 30 years, that is a feat. So I'm proud of them for that. But Jackie says, are you faking the funk? Dr. Simone said, no. She said, they're not faking the funk, but when they go out and stuff, they have a good time. But she's kind of avoiding really even going out. Dr. Jackie said, that's not good. Simone said, I want to live the rest of my life where I do what I want to do. Dr. Jackie said, that's not good in a marriage. Simone said, it's not. You know why? Because she gets tired of paying. And even if he puts his card down, it's probably something that's going to come out of her account to pay for it. So I feel badly for Simone. I hate this for her. But when we tried to defend Simone, she turned around and act like, everything's going fine. Cecil, lazy. You think that's what it is? You laughing, TNTG Mom. You really think he's lazy? I don't know. I think he's been demasculated a little bit by Simone. Simone is very take charge. But again, she's paying the cost to be the boss, and he allowed that to happen. When Kids Force didn't really go the way that it should have, and he lost Simone's money, I feel like he should have got another job in corporate America. Their kids are grown. Jackie brings that up. The kids are grown. You're going through menopause. She might have said that in a confessional. She said Cecil might need testosterone. Lord, Jackie, don't get that man on testosterone. They have enough testosterone, even as older men. Curtis, I don't think, needs testosterone. He can prance through Hilton Head Airport with big booty women and go down to the DR and stay down for weeks at a time. Don't give Cecil any of that testosterone. He'll be down there with Curtis. So Simone doesn't want to go into her golden years miserable. She's saying it, y'all. She doesn't want to go into her golden years miserable. This is a lady that is in her 50s. I hate this for Simone, but she's allowing it. And then she's raised a little Simone with her face and Cecil's features. TG Mom said one of the features might be laziness. So we see Michael with that. And then they turn around and gave the boy a Tesla anyway. Mama Bees is laughing. Yeah, Curtis is not someone. Oh, long, tall Curtis. Sharon, you gonna start making fun of Curtis too. Oh, long, tall Curtis. He's living his best life. He probably gives advice to Cecil too and tell him what to do. Nah, man, don't you go back to corporate America. We retired. It's time for them to hold it down. Welcome in, CC. Thank you so much for coming in. This is one of the moderators. She comes in and speaks to everyone, which I appreciate and I love. We making fun of old long, tall Curtis now, CC. Simone's over there just a crying. She done put her teeth all the way on the table and cried to Dr. Jackie. And Dr. Jackie is still encouraging her. Simone, you know, divorce, that'll be hard. And Simone's like, ain't nothing harder than this. Simone. I don't want to laugh at Dr. Simone, but when we take up for Simone, Dr. Simone start telling people to mind their business and start cussing and waving and talking crazy. So all I can do is wish you the best, okay? So next we see an event space being set up for kind of like a space age type thing. It's for Angel. It's Angels on Earth. This is Angel Love's scrub line. So we know she's a nurse practitioner. She is also owner of this scrub line. We see her come in rolling her luggage, her Louis luggage, and she's complimenting the people on the space. She has her space designer, Brittany, is the party planner. She's telling Angel what they're doing. Angel is, she said she's a full-time nurse, but she's also the founder of Life Angels Uniform Company, and she is unveiling her fall line. So congratulations, Angel. I love to see these young ladies have so much going for them. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the lives, and keep the channel in the algorithm. Thank you. Thank you, Mama Bees. And thank all of you that do that team replay. Thank you as well. I appreciate it so much. Cece is saying what I think. Jackie isn't a good source for marital advice. Not at all. We see when she wanted to leave Curtis, she ended up, I think, with him downstairs and still paying all the bills. He should have been out the house. And then when she put him out the house, he goes to Dominican Republic and stays. And then she still takes him back. Talking about he got business down there. What's the business's name? Maria and her children. That's just me speculating. I don't know what the Curtis's business's name is down. I don't know. So we are at Angel's event. Angel's telling us something about she wants to have a futuristic side of healthcare, and it meets the spiritual world. Angel, do you take gummies or something? Yeah, I didn't know what Angel was talking about. I did get scrub line. I know that. So that's concrete. I did get that she has a futuristic aspect. I get that. And something about spiritual. I understand that. But when she merged the three, Angel, I don't know. Okay? Everybody is laughing, I guess, about Curtis and his Dominican Republic situation. Maria LLC. That's the business. And probably got Jackie paying bills. Jackie's one of the vendors. Jackie, look through the checks. See what the name is on the checks. They're going out to the DR when Curtis go. And oh, Jackie, I need to bring a bag of clothes. Pair of size 6 talls. Poor Jackie. And she's trying to advise Simone. Simone, you go over there and eat lunch. Stop talking to this lady about your marriage. So they are in this event space. They're going to have Angel's event. Dr. Contessa is saying she doesn't understand the concept, but it's cool. Dr. Contessa, you know I don't want to agree with you, but I do. Dr. Contessa said, I was asked to come in metallic, and come in metallic she did. Dr. Contessa comes in metallic when you don't give her a theme. She got on some kind of old dress, but okay. Dr. Mimi shows up beautiful in white. Hello, Dr. Mimi. Now, Steve showed up separately. He dressed like he was either going to work out or he was having a boys' day out. I don't know their, as far as what their work relationship is. They have the business. Dr. Mimi's the therapist, and she claims that Steve is in the business with her. But every time we see them, if they're not in an event where he's in Louis, he is in something extremely casual and doesn't look like he came from work. So I'm just going to say that about Dr. Mimi and Steve. That's my observation. Simone is saying she loves the idea of a scrubs. Her scrubs don't have to be fancy. She doesn't really care about drip because she's getting dripped on. She's in a joint confessional with Cecil, Cecil's cracking up. So Quad comes in with scrubs. Quad and King come in. Quad comes bopping in. Quad's wearing no scrubs. Quad, you should have kept your pharmaceutical sales job. They get to wear scrubs. I've seen them in scrubs. So Toya is laughing in the confessional about Quad. She said, "Oh, Angel thought that Quad wanted to be a model." When somebody's too negative, it gets a little bit, it's like cringy. I don't mind Toya being like the voice of reason or even giving a little dig, but come on now. And Quad gets on my nerves. She's extra, but what's wrong with her showing up to support her friend wearing scrubs? I saw Yandy in there too, y'all. There was a scene when they were arguing and started having a fight. Yandy was standing there looking so concerned. I said, "Yandy, why are you this concerned?" Because on Love and Hip Hop, y'all actually be scrapping. So they must have asked Heavenly in the confessional about Quad scrubs. And Heavenly's like, if she wants to show up and support her friend in scrubs, let her do it. Again, I'm agreeing with Dr. Heavenly again. So Dr. Simone says, Heavenly has to be able to convert people like me and like Toya to her way of thinking and to want to vote for her. So that is her rationale for why her and also Toya are going to jump up in Heavenly's face and start with her. Heavenly and Damon have come in. Heavenly was calm. She was greeting everyone. So Toya starts talking about the campaign event, who was Heavenly talking about that is not supportive of her. It was either her or it was either Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone brings that up too. Yeah, you talk about me. I came. I was late, this, that, and the other. So Dr. Heavenly is trying to be calm, literally says, and Damon's looking at her like, "Don't start, buddy, don't start." But he doesn't have to say it. Dr. Heavenly knows. And Quad's looking. She's okay. I think Heavenly can do it. Heavenly was doing good. So then Toya jumps up in her face. "Yeah, what Georgia needs is strong leadership. It don't need you, Heavenly. It don't need." Heavenly said, "Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go." Because Toya was very close, very loud, and there were some gestures that weren't necessary and I didn't like. So as Heavenly turns to leave, Damon turns with her. Damon Daddy was going to leave too. And Toya saying, don't go, Heavenly." So they said that this is her storyline. Yeah, I think it is. Heavenly is Toya's storyline. Don't go, Heavenly. If you don't like Heavenly and Heavenly disturbs you just standing there, then you would want her to leave. And she's a friend of, who cares she leave? But no, now they don't want her to leave. So Quad said, "I'm going to have to do some heavy lifting when it comes to the candidate." So she gets Heavenly by the arm. Dr. Damon, he's right with her. He stayed with Buddy. I'm going to give you that, Damon. You stay with Buddy, right or wrong. And she's not wrong here. She hasn't done anything. So they kind of lead Heavenly off to a side room. Brandy walks in. She's bopping in. She's in white. What did I walk in on? And this was just like the other event they had where argument jumped off and Simone wanted to know what she jumped in on. This is the second event. Now Brandy comes in. What did I walk in on? And Dr. Mimi is saying, "Oh, they had just gotten into it." Contessa's going to pick up and start telling the story. So then Dr. Mimi gets on Brandy and says, "What I was trying to tell you is that I don't want you to be on the wrong team." They start this stuff again. So Simone says to Mimi, "Well, you over here on our squad," because Dr. Mimi happened to be standing there with Brandy, Contessa, Simone, and whoever the other person that's in their little gang. Y'all, I never thought I'd see 40 and 50-year-olds gang. I've seen it, but when I've seen it, I have revoked access to myself because Sandra P don't do gang. I like to have fun. I laugh too much for gang. You'll get mad at me. "What you laughing at?" Because I'm going to laugh because you're funny. If I was running against Heavenly, I would play all this back over and over. She can't be rational when confronted. No, Mama B, she cannot. And she's her own worst enemy. But like I said, on Watch What Happens Live, Quiet was scary the way she was able to flip and reverse every negative point. So I found that a trip. Daddy and Buddy deserve each other. They do. They absolutely do. So Dr. Mimi is warning Brandy again to watch who she aligns herself with. So he's like, "Who you talking about?" Dr. Mimi said, "I'm talking about you." But Dr. Mimi didn't say a confrontation. Dr. Mimi's she's a slick one. Somebody with no self-control would slap her, and then they would get arrested when the police show up. She said, "I'm talking about you." So she said it just like that. Toy and them was getting ready to get into it, but Angel event is starting. Angel comes down the steps. Now, y'all, one thing I noticed, I'm sorry, I have to go off camera for a minute. I have to wipe my nose. Excuse me, y'all. The one thing I noticed, Cecil and Simone, they are friends. They had that 30-year marriage. They're always joking with each other. But Cecil had made a comment about the scrubs. When they came into the event, they have models for the scrubs, quads in the scrubs. And Simone was joking, "I'm not going to look like her in the scrubs." I don't know if it was Quad or another one of the models. And then the scrubs, they make you look filled out. Because Simone said, "I don't look like her in the scrubs." And Quad's like, "Oh, the scrubs kind of give you a booty." Cecil said, if the scrubs do that for Simone, I'll buy the whole line. That was the first thing Cecil said I didn't like. Simone laughed. So then he says, where's Angel? When Angel come in, if she have those scrubs on, if you look like that, I'll get the line. He said something else about Angel. So we thought we're going to see Angel in these scrubs. Angel floats down the stairs in some kind of, I guess it was metallic. It might have been silver, but it was, Cecil said, oh, Angel didn't wear her own scrubs. He said she came in like, va, 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 boom. And his eyes were like busting out of his head, y'all, on Angel. So, I mean, Angel is beautiful. But Brandy said, oh, she's not in her scrubs. Brandy said her body is tea. If anybody can sell these, she can sell them. So Angel is something that's noticed by everybody. You can't miss what Angel brings. Angel's beautiful. Quad says, yes, there's my friend. Quad's bragging on her friend. And Angel comes floating in, and Cecil is appreciative of her again. So I feel like that wasn't the right thing. Cece is agreeing with Mama B's, bringing up all the heavenlies, not faults, but just who Heavenly is. All her opponent has to do is show that. Yo mama, showing people square up to her, insulting people's dead mothers. So Angel floats down the stairs in this metallic angelic dress. Everybody thought she was going to be in scrubs. Cecil's complimenting her. Curtis's eyeballs are on the floor. Oh, long, tall Curtis. Jackie picks his eyes up and hands them back to him. Jackie, you're a fool over there for Curtis. I'll tell you that right now. So I thought it was a little strange she didn't have her own scrubs on, but the event was nice. She gives us a little introduction. She says, I got scrubs for everybody. She did have nice swag bags that had scrubs in them. So we get a confessional from Cecil and Simone again. I can't remember what he said, but oh, here it is. Simone says, well, you got to remember, Angel is younger. And then Cecil pipes up, and Father Time is undefeated. Simone takes her teeth out, put them on the floor, and start laughing. Simone, keep on laughing where this man is joking about Father Time and other people's bodies, and if it gives you a booty, keep laughing. So I didn't like that at all. We go back to Angel's event. Dr. Contessa is apologizing that she missed the family event. She's talking to the rest of the ladies. She's telling us that she feels like she is the one that can plan this girls' trip, and she's asking everybody individually, are you coming to the girls' trip? Are you coming to the girls' trip? Everybody's like, I'm coming to the girls' trip. Dr. Mimi said, please don't ask me about no girls' trip. When Contessa gets in her face, are you coming to the girls' trip? Dr. Mimi said, yeah, I'm coming to the girls' trip. I wouldn't trust Dr. Mimi as far as I can throw her, y'all. I don't trust this lady. What I saw in Dr. Mimi is real. So something else popped off. I can't figure out. Oh, Angel. They asked Angel about the girls' trip. And Contessa says, you know, everybody's welcome to the girls' trip. They're all looking forward to the girls' trip. Toya ends up walking up, and Angel says, I got something I want to talk to you about. I didn't like the fact that you were questioning Dr. Bernard and questioning our relationship and how long we've been on and off, this sort of thing. And then Toya said, what are you talking about? Toya's playing crazy. What are you talking about? Angel says, I don't want to talk about it now. Toya said something that made sense. Why'd you bring it up? I was with Toya on that. You knew Angel was going to get you at some point. This might be the first time they've seen each other. Remember, they had separate events. Toya wasn't in Angel's house. Toya was at the Lunch Bunch Bar and Grill. So that's why she's bringing it up. But Angel was saying, I just want you to know, I have certain type of friends. Either you're going to be that type of friend or you're not. Angel was being quietly assertive. And I noticed Toya wasn't doing all that bucking up that she does with Simone. So Angel brings a different energy. I think they kind of know, I'm not going to do all that with this one. I think they even tried Brandy in a different way. So I was really interested to see the way Toya responded to Angel. So Toya's playing crazy. She's shocked. We'll talk about it as a one-off. Angel said, we will do that. But that's why Angel brought it up. This is the first time seeing her, I guess. Angel said, I want to know what kind of friend you are. And Toya said, Simone, what kind of friend am I? Simone started lying. Loyal. I wouldn't say none of them are loyal. I don't think any of them are loyal, but that's what Dr. Simone says. So then we see a flashback. Production shows us Toya asking Dr. Bernard how Angel was in bed. Now, I found that weird. I thought it was funny, her saying, she's asked me to introduce, her to people, but I didn't find that funny about asking the intimate questions. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Okay. So we are still at Angel's event. Angel has got it started a little bit. Toya said that, Angel, you might be trying to make something out of nothing. Angel says, no, I'm not, but we'll talk about it later. The next thing, Angel says she's not a fake friend. If I'm bringing you into my space, I want to know what kind of friend you are. So Dr. Simone was the only one to vouch that Toya is so loyal. Next thing, here comes Quad, Miss Campaign Manager. She's calmed Heavenly down, but she comes bopping back over there. Oh, what about all these VIN numbers? I heard you the one wanting to know about VIN numbers. And Toya's like, uh-oh, here we go with this. And Dr. Simone tells Quad to shut up. So they start arguing. They start screaming and arguing at each other. Dr. Simone is saying, I don't care about VIN numbers. I don't look up VIN numbers. I look up property. I told Heavenly that she could look up the VIN number. We get a confessional from Dr. Simone saying, I should never trust Heavenly about what to tell her. Production shows us that evidently this VIN number conversation happened when they had a moment a month ago when Dr. Heavenly let us and Dr. Simone know that she had cussed Buddy Jr. out and she had not seen him. He packed up, left the house, and he has not been around Dr. Heavenly and her mouth in all that time. Damon's in touch, Zach's in touch, I believe Alora's in touch, but Damon Jr. don't want none of Heavenly's mouth right now. So she confided in Dr. Simone. Dr. Simone confided in a few things, including she's looking up Quad's business. Now Quad knows about it, brings it back to Simone. Simone gives a confessional. If it's your car and you rolling in it, roll in it. Why do you care somebody looking it up? Dr. Simone, I don't know. Why do you care? So King is over there with the men. He's standing there with Curtis. All of them are kind of talking, laughing. Steve's looking a little bit. He trying to watch out for Mimi because he knows that Mimi gets it started, but quietly. So I watch Steve looking over there. So King's like 10, 9. They were like, oh, we're going to make a bet. Before they even could get to it, Dr. Simone and Quad are screaming, yelling in each other's faces. Again, I saw Yandy right there looking like she couldn't believe that the doctors and the doctors' wives and the pharmaceutical salespeople and nurse practitioners, yeah, Yandy, they get down just like y'all do over there loving hip hop. So they're screaming and yelling. Angel is yelling, wait a minute. Angel takes the stage. She said, if y'all don't know how to act, you are not going to be invited. So she said, and next time I'm going to bring security. Angel went back to Simone after Quad and everybody walked away. And Angel said, are you going to be able to control yourself? She said, if you're going to act like this, I'm not going to invite you to any events. Simone said, are you going to talk to your friend Quad, or did you already talk to your friend Quad? Angel said, right now I'm dealing with you. I didn't like that, Angel. We need to know if you did talk to Quad or not, because they had an argument at the top of their lungs, which Quad came back over there and started asking about the VIN number. Now, Simone started it bringing up the VIN number, but one of the conversations while they were yelling and Simone was yelling at the top of her lungs, Quad said, I live a very good life. And Simone said, you live a very good life in debt. And Dr. Heavenly yelled out, you can't win over here. My husband's a whole doctor. Because she'll bring that trump card out of her pocket, honey, that Dr. Damon is a doctor and Cecil is unemployed. So Toya's like, oh, we talking about the husbands? We're talking about the husbands. So Toya, the way you talk to Dr. Eugene, you can't really be upset if anybody's talking about husbands. They went back and forth. They yelled a little bit. Contessa was still going around like a crazy person, asking the people that she didn't already ask if they were going to the girls' trip. So Quad starts saying, well, is there going to be water? Is there going to be palm trees? Quad's trying to get clues. This is how crazy they are. They were getting ready to fight a second ago. Now they all going to travel together and trying to get cute clues about the girls' trip. So Dr. Contessa said, I don't know if they can be around any water. You might drown each other. Everybody has agreed to go to the girls' trip. I feel like Heavenly was led out screaming. Yeah, he was. I have this. Toya says, vote for Heavenly, but she said it real sarcastically because Dr. Heavenly got out a few crazy digs at Cecil, who was just catching strays. Now, we know that he left that corporate job, but he's been catching strays from Heavenly ever since. So that was part of what Dr. Heavenly was yelling at Simone. Don't worry about anybody else. Worry about yourself, your family, what you got going on, because you can't compete over here. I got a whole doctor over here, she kept telling her. So Toya says, vote for Heavenly. And Damon finally takes Buddy by the arm and escorts her out. And Simone has already, I felt like, defended herself fairly against Angel. Angel threatening not to bring her. Angel said, listen, Proverbs 31 woman. Now, Angel, don't do that. Is that a man find a wife find a good thing? So y'all, all of y'all are gonna just talk about Cecil not being the breadwinner, huh? Simone didn't get activated about that. She was already upset. But she was saying she don't have to come to Angel or any of the events. She said, but if you bring it to me, I'm gonna give it back to you. And we already know that about Dr. Simone. So I don't know who is surprised at this time. Y'all, that was the end of the episode. Toya kept grimacing. Vote for Heavenly. Toya, you started a lot of this. Dr. Mimi was quietly starting a lot too. So those of you that saw Mimi early on, you were correct. I started to see her a little bit kind of after Sweet Tea, and then especially this season. So yeah, we're right about Dr. Mimi. The preview for next week, Contessa does entice the girls trip, and it looks like we see the ladies running to pick their room, and there's a threat that Heavenly may or may not go, but then thank you, production. They ruin the surprise of, they show Heavenly being surrounded and supported by the ladies, that Damon Jr. won't have anything to do with her, and they're trying to encourage her that, you know, maybe he'll come back around. Y'all, this was not a lot happened. We did have 2 events. We had the campaign launch from Dr. Heavenly. We had Angel's live scrub line event. I'm really proud of Angel for that. I think that's amazing. We got to see everybody in their businesses, except they didn't show Heavenly in the dentist's office because they showed her at their campaign event. But Married to Medicine, I don't know that anybody does it better as far as showcasing their careers and what they do. Even the men, the little side stuff when they're talking to each other, that's a little bit funny. King and the countdown. Oh, long, tall Curtis trying to give advice. Dr. Jackie and her terrible advice. We've got the Simone and Dr. Jackie lunch revisited. I'm going to give the episode an 8. And they're not even on a trip or anything. I'll give it an 8. Married to Medicine is one of the best to do it. I'm hearing rumors about their numbers. I think it was Quad on Watch What Happens Live saying, and we had better numbers than Real Housewives of Potomac or Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as far as their live numbers. So congratulations to Married to Med if that's the truth at season 12, and you're doing better than the younger girls. I like it. I love it. Sharon, give the episode an 8. Yeah, they passed with flying colors. They got an 80%, y'all. If you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it. And then as a partnership, go ahead and watch What Happens Live, because we had Jackson Jordan, which is Sharice's son. He was not going to kiss and tell. Andy tells him to go ahead and take a drink. Jackson had a big glass of wine in front of him, y'all. He took a sip, but he still didn't talk crazy. Sharice, you've done a good job. Eddie, you've done a great job with this young man. So even though he might fall into a gutter snipe, a tent troll, he doesn't come out of character himself. So I'm proud of Jackson. I don't want him to circle the block on Ashley. I think she is a nasty piece of work, and he better really not be around that anymore. Giselle, I said she had on a gold dress earlier. I had just quickly watched it. It wasn't gold. It was the pink, the rose gold. And she was looking beautiful, but Giselle is mean as hell. You're very bitter, Giselle, and it's not looking good. I don't like it. Cece says, I don't like the Married to Medicine women, so I'll never rate them over a 5. So they are great on a curve, but downward, and that is courtesy of Cece, moderator. So they cannot pass with Cece. So Sharon and I have given them an 8, which is 80%. But because of the repulsive characters, the way Cece views them, they cannot pass. They can't pass the class. So this permanent 5 or 50%, I will have to leave that separate. So we won't include that in the average. But I thank everybody for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. I'm glad to see my nurse practitioners step up. Angel get a scene. Angel get her feet wet. Brandy defend herself against old Whitley Gilbert. We see you, Dr. Mimi. You mean. You soft-spoken, but you a trip. You a trip. So we need Stevie in the backseat throwing shoes and just whip Mimi back into action. I don't like how she was acting. But those of you who joined me again twice in one day, thank you so much. And I appreciate you. Thank you for joining Sandra P's Gen Extra. Click the like, subscribe. If your team replay, go ahead and hype. And I will leave up Sharon's comment who was saying, see ya. And I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
I don't think that he's good for you.
How do you know what's good for me?
That's my opinion!
Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
That I don't think that he's good. That I